Ayun na. Kamusta kayo dyan, mga kameta? Yan, kahit medyo, magmi-midnight na mga kameta, medyo mag-energy tayo dahil marami tayong pag-usapan. Alright? In a short span of time, kasi ako matutulog na kayo at magpahinga na tayo. Na ito mga kameta, dapat kahapon pa natin pinag-usapan. Ang dami mga Tulfo updates today. Siyempre, trending ngayon si Erwin Tulfo dahil yung isa sa mga Tulfo brothers ay papasok na sa Philippine House of Representatives. So, ayun na, dumadami na yung mga Tulfo sa gobyerno natin, sa elected branch of the government. But of course, mga kameta, yung isa pang malaking news dito is yung ginagawa ni #Idol Rafi Tulfo. Buyaka siya! Kamusta kayo dyan, mga kameta? So, sa isang banda mga kameta, ito na-confirm na yung sinasabi natin over the past few months na officially it's really gonna be Tulfo versus Sara Duterte as far as the top candidates are concerned. But it looks like Riza Ontiveros is kind of in the mix. It looks like Lenny Robredo could still be in the mix. But katulad ng sinabi natin last year mga kameta, last year pa lang sinabi natin dun sa mga episodes natin na si Tulfo talaga malaking chance niya if he wants to run for the president, at definitely hindi sure in si Sara Duterte o hindi siya shoe in and sure in pagdating sa Malacanang in 2028. If anything, momentum is very much on the side of Senator Rafi Tulfo, especially mga kameta, after another major important intervention dito sa Senado as the Philippine legislators at the Philippines legislature in general mga kameta is finalizing, among others, Maharlika Fund. Maharlika dyan, Maharlika dyan. Speaking of mga Maharlika, speaking of mga ka-solid north, ayan na naman tayo. And then, speaking of Azuri, mga Azuri, Italia. Ito, tignan natin, ayusin natin, baka yung check ko yung kodigo, baka magkamali tayo, mahirap na, medyo malaking tao ito. Hindi, ito, shoutout natin dyan mga kameta, yung pinsan natin. I'm so proud of you, Marco Foronda Conde. Yan, nagbukas na siya or soon to be open yung kanyang restaurante dyan sa Ibiza, Espanya. Yan, check ko talaga yung kodigo. Mahirap pag mali yung basa ko dyan, baka mamaya lagot tayo dyan. Alam niyo naman mga kameta, matapang tayong tao, pero pagdating sa mga pinsan natin, malalaking tao mga to, ayan, I'll make sure na hindi tayo magkamali. Ito mga kameta, congratulations sa ating cousin Marco Conde dyan sa Ibiza, Espanya, for opening his new Novo Restaurante. Make a Wish 11.11. Alright, okay. Mamaya ko na tanongin bakit 11.11. May date pa yan or something. Anyway, Make a Wish. Ito po yung isang autentico Italiano restaurant, pero may fusion din yan mga kameta. May fusion din yan mga kameta, Katulfo, mga ka-solid north. Ayan, fusion itong restaurant ng pinsan natin. And I'm super proud of my cousin mga kameta dahil unfortunately, hindi ganun kadami yung mga Filipino-owned restaurants and establishment dyan sa Europe kumpara dun sa population ng mga Pilipino dyan, kumpara sa kagandahan ng ating kultura, ating cuisine, kumpara sa kagalingan ng ating mga kababayan. So I'm very proud dito sa cousin ko na who's pushing the boundaries para siguraduhin na hindi lang authentic Italiano, pero pati yung Filipino fusion with Italiano and Espanol and Mediterranean food, he's gonna push the boundaries of fusion food, of Filipino-Italian food. So I'm very, very proud of him. So if you want an authentic experience, mga kameta, if you want great services, if you want a cool, big body, sexy chef, yan, at Roma, trained in Roma, Italia, yan. Ito yung cousin natin, super proud of him. So ito yung cousin natin na hindi lang siya yung mga kunyari pa Italian. Ito talaga nag-train ito sa Italy. At to be honest mga kameta, yung life story niya, very, very proud ako sa kanya. Before siya ma-train as a chef, next level chef dyan sa Italy, autentico Italiano, he went through, alam nyo na, through the whole ladder mga kameta. Simula sa dishwasher, parang lahat nagawa niya na. So he went the whole 9 yards, mga kameta, before becoming the superstar. And I'm so proud of my cousin, mga kameta, for opening up his restaurant. Alright, balikan natin ito. Okay, I want to make sure I get this right. Baka, okay na, cousin. Baka, baka may mali ako dyan. Mahirap na. No, you could see, wala nang kodigo yan. That comes from my heart. Magalingan si Marco kasi I saw him in a very short span of time, no? He can prepare very good, authentic food. At of course, alam natin, mga kameta, what we're talking about. You know, thank God, we've been all around the world. I have tasted Italian food in all corners of the world, right? Including in Italy. Although I would say na, well, thanks to our cousin in España, and also thanks to some people in Thailand and mga others, I tasted great Italian food outside Italy too, perhaps even better. No, at Proud Thai, and one thing I really like about my cousin, Marco, mga kameta, is magaling siya doon sa dough eh. Yung, you know, yung bread kasi, yung dough, dapat you get it right, mga guys. So, pag gumagawa siya ng mga pastries or mga dough, iba yung pizza eh. Iba yung autentico talaga. Yung parang, you know, Capri, you know, you can feel it. You know, you can feel the ingredient Italiano there. You know what I'm saying, mga kameta? Basta, kaboom yan, kaboom. So, abangan nyo na, mga kameta. Mag-share tayo ng more details about that. Now, wow, talaga nagbigay ako ng todo energy talaga para sa pamilya. Mi gente, mi amigo. Like, para sa pamilya. Yan, okay. Now, balikan natin ito, mga kameta. So, balikan natin ang Tulfo Brothers. Booyaka siya. Of course, mga kameta, last year na yung mga iba sa inyo listen in dun sa interview namin with Erwin Tulfo, Secretary Erwin Tulfo, when he was still the Secretary of DSWD. Sa aking palagay, mga kameta, he was a good Secretary of DSWD. I think he did a very good job. He was very active in his response. In fact, he was very proactive because unfortunately, especially nakita natin yan doon sa first few months ni Marcos Jr. nung maraming mga unfortunate things na happen, yung lindol sa north of the country, etc. We saw the response was very fast. Unfortunately, hindi na-confirm yata doon sa commission on appointments dyan sa Kongreso. But now he's in the Congress, so let's see what Erwin Tulfo will do there. Now, the other one was also, of course, making strides, making a lot of headlines, and for good reasons. As I said again, I was never like fan of the Tulfo way of, you know, approach to justice, especially yung isa pang kapatid. But anyway, you know, wala naman tayong inherent bias or anything like that. I'm always willing to give credit where credit is due. And in fairness to Senator Tulfo, he has been constantly calling out, no, yung mga mali at calling out yung mga problematic. So, last time, mga kameta, pinag-usapan natin, nasa Baguio pa tayo, mga kameta, pinag-usapan natin na si Tulfo was calling for potential nationalization ng itong yung national grid natin, di ba? It's called national grid, but actually it's privately owned. 40% ay nasa isang Chinese grid company, and then ayon dun sa mga ibang Senate reports, mga Chinese engineers, technicians pang nag-run ng potentially the 100% of the show, no? At nabuking pa ni Tulfo the other day, mga kameta, na ang laki ng mga profits at yung dividends ang laki ng dividends na binibigay nitong National Grid niyan sa kanyang mga shareholders, at mukhang not much sometimes is left for investment doon sa basic infrastructure, etc. So, in fairness kay Raffy Tulfo, labas natin muna yan, ha? Tulfo, we have been had. Ito, check na niya. Check niya yan, ha? Iba talaga eh. Iba. Ito. So, itong sabi niya, we have been had, no? Itong sabi ni Senator Tulfo, isa sa mga pinaka-quotable quotes dyan, mga kameta. Pinaka-quotable quotes dyan ukol dun sa investigation about the National Grid of the Philippines, which is like 40% owned by China and potentially 100% maintained by Chinese technicians and engineers. Obviously, in principle, we should not have a problem with it, or maybe you should have a problem, but alam natin, mahidwaan dyan sa West Philippine Sea at lumalala yung relasyon natin sa China dahil sa mga polisiya ni Marcos Jr. With respect to EDCA and reaching out to the US. But of course, hindi rin masisi ang Pilipinas, tayo ngayon binubuli eh. Alright, so ito yung sinabi ni Tulfo, no? Talagang grabe daw ito sa NGCP. Kasi grabe daw yung dividends sa shareholders, at some are wondering nasaan ang investment sa infrastructure. So ito, no? Kasi siya yung chairman ng yung committee na overseeing energy affairs, energy-related affairs, no? Siya yung chairman nun, sasabi ni Senator Tulfo, doon sa question niya, sa NGCP financial statements between 2014 to 2019, ayon doon sa Assistant Corporate Secretary ng NGCP, mga kameta, in 2019, the firm earned 20 billion pesos, but 15 billion was yung parang dividends na binigay sa shareholders, parang 3/4, no? Wow, that's a lot, huh? 15 billion dividends ayon sa kanya represents 75% of the net income, and only 25% would go for development projects, parang sobrang konti. In fairness, also Riza Ontiveros, no? I mean, the reason why, given that Riza Ontiveros as a minority is, by nature going to be critical, scrutinize the situation. There ayon naman kay Riza Ontiveros, dun sa 15 billion income was 51% of the, ito yung capital outlay, no? Capital outlay na 40 billion pesos. At sabi niya, ito ay stunning rate of profit by industry standards. Masyadong malaki ito. Parang halos kalahati ng mga revenues nyo nakipunta ito, capital outlay. Medyo next level yan. Yan, no? Ayan. So, what's Tulfo saying, which is echoed by Hontiveros, etc. Hindi pala si Tulfo nagsabi yan. Si Hontiveros nagsabi, we've been had. So, ayon sa kanya, we've been had. Naloko po ang taong bayan dito, naloko yung pamalaan. So, may talagang, may duo sila, Hontiveros at saka si Tulfo, dito sa Senado pagdating sa scrutiny. So, kudos rin to Senator Hontiveros for being there, mga kameta, constantly pushing for greater scrutiny, and I'm glad na you have a situation whereby hindi lang yung minority, literally yung minority ang nagsasalita, pero sumasali din yung, as of now, the most popular, most influential senator na meron tayo dyan. Sorry na lang kay Robin P. Diba? Yan po ang situation natin dyan, mga kameta. Buya ka siya. But more interestingly, mga kameta, kanina nakita natin dun sa intervention, na may intervention na naman si Rafi. I'm sure si Riza meron din similarly to that. But yun nga para sa akin, hindi ko maintindihan bakit Riza Ontiveros is not getting as much headlines as commensurate dun sa level of kanyang intervention. Tanongin na yung media, tanongin na yung iba. Okay. Anyway, so kanina meron din pumasok na update kasi pinaplanchado na yung mga final version ng Maharlika Fund, among others. So may intervention itong si Senator Tulfo, at ayon sa kanya, dapat bawal, explicitly prohibited, na isama ang GSIS, SSS, PhilHealth, Pag-ibig, OWA Fund, PVAL Fund, dun sa Maharlika Fund. Dapat hindi. Kasi medyo stretch na itong fund na yung mga ito. Dapat, mga kameta, ito ay nakafocus doon sa interest ng ating kababayan. Sorry, okay, approve na yung cousin natin. Okay, baka mamaya. Baka naman. Hindi. So, ito pinagbawalan niya. Now, anong konteksto, mga kameta? Ang konteksto dito is talagang, double time na yung administration na ipasa itong Maharlika dahil sobrang konti yung napasa ng mga batas, priority bills, ng gusto ni Marcos Jr. So, sa first 11 months ni BBM, 4 lang sa kanyang priority bills ay medyo nakalusot. So, that's a very low rate, mga kameta. That's a very low rate. I think that's among the lowest we have seen in recent memory. So, medyo double time na ngayon kasi malapit na mag-second SONA si BBM ngayon, mga kameta. Ayan, kailangan natin ng endorsement, Beroka. Kasi naman, 10 p.m., energy pa rin kailangan. Kilala ko kayo. Pag hindi ako high energy, hindi nyo rin pinapansin. So, sige lang. Mag-energy muna tayo dyan, mga kameta. Ayan. Okay, may energy na tayo ulit. Ito. So, sobrang konting napasa. Kaya ngayon, mga kameta, double time na itong Maharlika Fund. So, syempre, since lower house ang nag-introduce na itong Maharlika Fund, at of course, napakalapit ng lower house leadership kay Pangulong Marcos Jr., umaasa ka na lang talaga sa Senado for really double time scrutiny. At in fairness sa Senado, Rafi Tulfo has been taking up the cudgels, no? to make sure na masinsinan talagang scrutiny dito. At ito talaga, mukhang may red line ng Senate. Pag isama ang GSIS, SSS, PhilHealth, Pag-ibig, or any of these funds, dyan sa final Maharlika version, it's a no from the Senate. At kung walang no from Senate, kung walang yes from Senate, then buyaka siya. Tapos na ang laban. Now, alam din natin si Tulfo has the ear of the president because the other day when he talked about the potential nationalization of national grid para hindi yung China masyado may control for national security concerns, ang Malacanang po ay sumagot at sinabi ng Malacanang na open si BBM na i-nationalize ito. So you have a Rafi Tulfo who's very influential inside Senate and who was also the ear of the president. That's a very potent combination. And who knows, at the rate things are going, Rafi Tulfo could be the candidate that BBM will back come 2028, which brings us to the next topic, mga kameta. Buyaka siya. So may survey, not by, to be honest, not by the most reputable or the most, alam mo na, the most na survey. Hindi naman siya Google Trends level. Okay. Nakita ko marami nagko-comment dito na, maingay kasi yung isa, si Risa hindi maingay kaya hindi pinapansin. Wait lang, okay? Pag-usapan natin yan. Don't worry, relax lang kayo dyan. Hindi, para sa akin, parang yung media hindi pinapansin masyado si Risa eh. Hindi ko alam bakit. Anyway, dahil progressive siya or something. Ewan ko, I don't know mga comment. For some reason, she's not getting as much traction commensurate dun sa kanyang interventions. No? Okay, ito. Tingnan natin. So, kahapon lang lumabas ito. Nakita ko na online nung isang araw pa. Parang medyo delayed na lumabas ito. Na may isang survey kung saan pinapakita na dikit ang laban, no? If there were a race today, mga kameta, for 2028 elections, Tulfo is in a very strong position to be the next president of the Philippines. Now, why is that important? Because, well, that may make the current president think like, maybe dun na lang tayo. Now, that has implication because if you're the vice president and you're eyeing the presidency in 2028, then you're also gonna be, very careful about your political moves, no? So, ito. Itong Tangere presidential survey na, of course, some will take it with a grain of salt. Nevertheless, dito mga kameta, mukhang dikit ang laban base dito. So, Tulfo and Sara Duterte are in the 30, 35, 39, 40% kind of territory with the margin of error, no? Of course, malakas pa rin si Sara, especially because sa Mindanao vote niya, napakalakas pa rin niya doon. Mukhang si Tulfo is still struggling there. And then, yung mga iba dito, kasama dyan si Lenny Robredo, si Grace po, at si Isko Moreno, no? More or less statistically tied, no? Number 3, 4, 5. And then, sobrang sa baba na si Amy Marcos, si Pacquiao, and Martin Romualdez, no? So, this is a very interesting situation we're having here. So, as early as now, mga kameta, it looks like a Tulfo-Sara race, no? Now, again, sasabihin mo, sobrang aga naman, 2028 pa. Yes, that's true, mga kameta. But you see, if you're seen as the inevitable succession level to, that will impact your power today and that will influence your actions today. Now, in the same way, if you're seen as the next potential contender or top contender or rival for the top post, that also affects your move today and that also affects people around you, including the action and the calculus of the incumbent. So the shadow of the future influences current and short and medium term behavior. Basic game theory po yan. So pag nagbasa kayo ng game theory, marirealize nyo na calculations about the future affect your current behavior, right? So related yan. So it's very important what we think about the future. And even this not so established surveys are essentially echoing ano yung mga sinasabi natin mga kameta. So Rafi Tulfo is on fire. He's boom, going for it, mga kameta. And he's making interventions right and left. And then again, of course, the critics are gonna say, maingay lang yan, nagpapasikat lang yan. But at least he's making interventions in the right direction. Because pwede rin siya mag-intervention katulad ng isa na gusto mag-federalism, gusto mag-tatay policy, gusto na kaibigan sa China, yung mga ganyan. Pwede rin naman mag-ingay in that direction. Kasi makikilala tayo na ng mga nag-iingay in that direction, di ba mga kameta? Hindi naman ginagawa ni Tulfo yan. Tulfo took a stronger patriotic stance doon sa yung vulnerability ng ating national grid. He took a strong stance dun sa interest ng mga tao, yung pensionado, on the Maharlika Fund front, di ba? So, kahit anong sabihin mo, at least it's an intervention, or even if pasigad lang yan, it's at least in the right direction, right? It's at least in the right direction, and that in itself matters, mga kameta. That in itself matters, mga kameta. So this is shaping up as a very, very interesting political situation, mga kameta. And I say it's so far so good as far as Tulfo is concerned, but there are also all indication that Sara is still powerful, and you should not underestimate Sara. She's still considered as a top contender to succeed the current president. If you look at Sara Duterte, she's also very, very sedulous, no? Dun sa kanyang political moves and interventions. And she has tried to be above the fray as much as possible. She has kept away from bloggers and all the toxicity, or make sure niya hindi siya overexposed sa media. So, very interesting. I think everyone is playing their cards very carefully and effectively here. Rafi on his part is doing the right moves. Sara on his part is doing the right moves. BBM on his part is also trying to keep things on an even keel despite the internal dynamics. And at the same time, Riza Ontiveros is also doing everything right for a minority, no? In fairness sa kanya, I just feel na she needs to get more support dun sa mga opposition. If especially Lenny doesn't have plans to run for 2028. If wala talagang plano si Lenny, kung it's not really in her, then might as well rally her base behind Riza Hontiveros para Riza will also be in the conversation and have that kind of momentum that she needs. Alright mga kameta, in the meantime, yung iba dyan mukhang puposition na lang for vice presidency or who knows. But it looks like this is essentially the race, Sara, Tulfo, and one of those other people. It could be Lenny, it could be Riza, it could be even Isko Moreno, base dun sa mga survey na yan. But I doubt na... Let's see mga kameta. It's quite interesting, right? Because this is exactly what we have been saying for quite some time. I'm very sure mga kameta, if magkaroon ng more credible surveys, mga ganun, we will see some interesting confirmation of this. Alright mga kameta? Anyways, thank you very much. Grazie bello. Again, congratulations to my cousin. Yeah, Italiano, and then also Filipino, mi gente, mi people. Yan, okay. So Make-A-Wish Restaurante, Ibiza, España. Right, okay. Now hopefully magkaka-branch out niyan dito sa Pilipinas, sa Baguio. Yan, the best yan. Alright mga kameta, thank you very much again dun sa pumapansin sa atin kahit almost mag-11 p.m. na. I really appreciate it. Pasensya na, I couldn't do this earlier. Buong araw, grabe, super packed tayo. Kanina nga, mag-speech ako. Oh, by the way, shout out din dyan sa Asian Center for Foreign Languages, etc. Diba? Kanina, medyo may kausap tayo dyan. Tagalog pala Tagalog. Biglang Tagalog pa rin. Napagod ako doon. Parang double effort. But anyways, in Arconio, Balugto Tagalog, we try to have a proper conversations, etc. Ukol sa Pilipinas, etc. Okay, anyway, mga ka-Google Trends, mga ka-Solid North, mga ka-Idol, yan, kamusta kayo dyan? Thank you very much. Maraming salamat kay Cristina Nunez. God bless you din po. Kay Noy Metablare, kay Jocelyn Lumberio, sa lahat ng mga sumusuporta sa atin dito. Kay Jillian, marami kang comments kanina. Okay, Ivan Sanlo, Mark Kevin, yan, Araceli Marcos. Uy, may Marcos na iba dyan Yan, thank you very much. Kay Ma'am Jocelyn Lumberio as always. Kay Sir Florendo Castro. Ayan, ayun na kay Tulfo. Alright, kay Mark Smith. Yan. Wait lang. Alam mo na, interesado doon yung mga ayos sa kay Tulfo, pero okay kay Tatay Digong. And then my part of me is asking, hindi pa parang similar sila in a way? Okay, anyway. But in fairness kay Rafi Tulfo, very strong siya dun sa front ng China. That was not the case with Tatay. And so far, very, very, very good yung interventions na nangyayari on a number of issues in the interest of the people. As I said, even if pakyut lang yan, at least it's creating a good effect, and it's amplifying the voice of Riza Hontiveros, who should get more support from yung mga pink movement na yan, yung mga supporters na Lenny na yan. If Lenny talaga walang plano, why not go and back Rizon Tiveros? Because Rizon Tiveros is getting nowhere close to what she deserves, given she's really the only opposition, progressive liberal, out there who's in a national position. Alright? So for me, that's also a big anomaly. So as much as I want to emphasize, okay tong Beroka na to, mag-endorse na ako, hindi lang si Kim Chu ang ba't tayo mag-endorse tayo? So hindi lang tayo dito mga kameta to emphasize the good things that Tulfo is doing. We're also here to emphasize that the good things Riza Hontiveros is doing also deserves more support, especially doon sa mga kakamping among others. Because she is your representative at the highest level in this country, or highest possible level, as far as the opposition of 2022-2023 is concerned, mga kameta. Alright? Booyaka siya! Thank you very much. And again, congratulations to my cousin. And thank you very much. Ciao!